It seems there has been a catastrophic mistake during a dangerous experiment in this episode of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. The Lock Boys and the team from the New Salt Laser make their way to Skinwalker Ranch in order to carry out a large-scale experiment. Rockets and lasers are going to be used in the tests that are going to be combined in order to understand more about the strange occurrences that have been seen at the ranch. In the atmosphere, laser beams have been seen twisting and turning, which suggests the existence of an important object. In order to acquire more detailed visual information, powders were scattered around this region when rockets were fired through it. Could this be what caused the catastrophic mistake during the dangerous experiment? Well, let's find out. The group prepares for the experiment by employing enormous lasers and a laser scanner in an effort to elicit a reaction in the zone that is 1 mile high and directly above the triangle. Their objective is to collect information on radiation spikes as well as the mysterious abnormality that has been observed in prior lasers and GPS devices. In addition to the numerous high-powered laser cannons that have been placed around the triangle, there is also a laser that will be scanning the sky above. The team anticipates the observation of UAPs as well as other unidentified atmospheric phenomena. Disappointment ensues as a result of the primary rocket that was supposed to be used in the experiment exploding on the launch pad. The team has a hunch that the igniter was operating at an unsafe temperature, which led to the catastrophic collapse. However, they can continue the experiment using one of the other rockets that are available to them. Another rocket is successfully launched, but this one takes an unexpected sharp turn to the north rather than continuing on its upward trajectory. The team theorizes that the deflection was generated either by winds at higher altitudes or unknown factors. They also catch a clear image of a UAP on video as it maneuvers close to the intersection of the laser beams. The group is pondering whether or not their experiment was the cause of the UAP's appearance, and whether or not it was the factor that led the rocket to veer off course. The group explores the prospect that there may be portals to other dimensions and even alternate realities on Skinwalker Ranch. They ponder the possibility that their experiment was the cause of the UAP's appearance and hypothesize on where it might have gone as a result of its disappearance. They consider the events that took place during the experiment to be some of the most peculiar they have ever seen, and they are excited to carry on their investigation. In addition to this, there was yet another incident, and yet another disaster took place. The crew continues to bore through the mesa and eventually comes across a sizable hole. It seems that some unusual things are taking place. A member of the team named Tom is having health problems, including the loss of feeling in his arm and blacking out. He is taken in a hurry to the hospital's emergency room. As the hole is continued to be drilled, an unexpected substance is discovered in the mud that is being extracted. The mysterious material that was discovered looks to be flakes of metal that are composed of elements such as iron, aluminium, and magnesium. The experts do not understand how metal got within the mesa or where it could have come from. Therefore, they are perplexed. They come to the conclusion that further investigation is necessary in order to comprehend what it is doing there. One thing is known about Skinwalker Ranch and the surrounding Uinta Basin. The mystery has resisted years of examination, study, and analysis, but the same might be said about the bigger mystery of UAP in general. Fugel feels the ongoing inquiry at Skinwalker Ranch may hold the key to solving both riddles. Fugel formed his own investigation team after purchasing the ranch. As part of our investigation, I have assembled a team of multidisciplinary professionals, he explains. Physicists, engineers, and scientists from various fields work together to better comprehend what is going on. Fugel claims that his team did drone aerial inspections, soil surveys, and seismic record assessments to establish whether there was a natural, mundane explanation for what was documented there. Fugel's wish to remain nameless was motivated in part by a desire to safeguard his reputation in his other business operations. Who wants to be recognized as the guy who saw UFOs? However, he claims that the overwhelming response has been one of encouragement and genuine interest. After all, nearly everyone has a story about an experience they can't fully describe. It begs the question, why aren't we taking UAP research more seriously? Some folks at least. For example, the United States government. However, until recently, efforts to examine UAP and other unexplained events were not as prominent. It's unclear whether or not this line of research is being explored at Skinwalker Ranch right now, although Fugel intimated that future expansion of the project would involve human consciousness studies. He calls the phenomenon precognitive, sentient, non-human intelligence. It can anticipate and even be aware of your thoughts and consciousness, he continues, and react according to your intention that you bring to the property. This alleged entity, or entities, has been evasive in revealing its nature or objectives to Fugel's crew. He believes they are witnessing a diversity of origins and agendas, and believes malevolent, benevolent, and benign forces are at work. Fugel also feels Skinwalker Ranch holds the key to much more than what is going on the site. If we can approach the ranch as a sort of living laboratory for verifying that we are not alone in the universe, whether that means we are interacting with extraterrestrials, interdimensional phenomena, or spiritual entities, it is all extremely compelling, says one researcher. When the Sherman family was in charge of the ranch, anything and everything that could happen did happen there. Something out of the ordinary appeared to take place every single day, ranging from crop circles and poltergeist activity to cow mutilations and sightings of skinwalkers. It seemed as though nothing could go a day without happening. The Sherman family reported that they frequently heard voices without bodies speaking directly above them, and that on numerous occasions, the night sky would mysteriously light up. The hoofprints left by cows in the snow abruptly stopped, and there was no further evidence of the animals elsewhere. During the night, something that resembled a huge wolf attacked the livestock belonging to the Sherman family. After being hit by a number of bullets, the creature eventually fled into the darkness, appearing to be unhurt and leaving no indications of blood trails in its wake. The Sherman family experienced a high frequency of UFO sightings, some of which resulted in fatal consequences. Flying bright blue spheres were seen all over the property, and at one point, Terry Sherman urged his dogs to run after one of these objects. Yelps could be heard when the dogs vanished into the thicket, but they were never seen or heard from again. Terry observed burned dirt and peculiar greasy blobs upon his study of the location. He assumed that the blobs were the charred remnants of his pets because of the appearance of the scorched earth. Subscribe now for more thrilling research updates. Salisbury, along with his friend Joseph Jr. Hicks, a meticulous record-keeping schoolteacher in Roosevelt, conducted interviews with eyewitnesses and acquired first-hand descriptions of hundreds of UFO encounters that took place in the Skinwalker Ranch beginning in the 1950s. These interviews and first-hand accounts were gathered during the course of Salisbury's investigation into the Skinwalker Ranch. The work that was done by Salisbury was founded on the conclusions drawn from the findings of these interviews, as well as first-hand experiences. The authors of Hunt for the Skinwalker give the impression that strange occurrences began much earlier than that, back when the Uinta Basin was still a part of the ancestral hunting grounds of the Ute tribe, before the United States government relegated them to the reservation, what is now known as the Ute Indian tribe of the Uinta and Ouray Reservation, and allowed white ranchers to move into the area. It wasn't until the early 1990s that Skinwalker Ranch earned its reputation as a hub for paranormal activity, despite the fact that rumors of UFOs and skinwalkers had been circulating in the region for decades. Prior to that, it had been the residents of the Myers family, who had previously constructed a number of homesteads on the site. Their stay there, which lasted until 1987, was a calm and uneventful one, and they witnessed very few, if any, unexplainable occurrences during that time. However, strange occurrences started taking place in 1994 when Terry and Gwen Sherman bought the ranch. Prior to their purchase, the ranch had been abandoned for a period of 7 years. During the subsequent 2 years, the Sherman family was haunted by unexplained activity, which ultimately led to their decision to sell their home and move away from the location. Strange force encountered on the Skinwalker Ranch. Click on the next video to find out more.